Hey everybody, it's Reid Mahalko from readaboutsex.com, and this is Shihan. I like to say Shihan because I don't get to say it a lot. But Mac McGregor, who's an amazing martial artist, the gender sensei for a lot of different things, and we've been talking about BDSM and martial arts worlds where they merge. And Mac just brought up this great point, being a former dojo owner. I don't know if are you still active with your dojo?
No, I just teach private lessons and travel in seminars now.
When you teach adult classes and children's classes and BDSM, there's a whole thing that can happen that you need to be able to navigate, and I just wanted to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, there's another layer because I know as a teacher, children's classes as a martial arts school owner are a big part of your business. That's your bread and butter, really. And so when you have children and their parents in there, it's a little scary for them to find out if you're involved in kink or BDSM. That might be they're going to put some brakes up, that might be a freaky thing to them. So working on how to do that if you want to teach people in the BDSM or kink community and how to separate, not involving that in the children and parent part of your dojo.
Which is really a concern, even in the sex ed world, around like privacy and handling people's concerns when you do education work for a living that has certain sexual themes to it, and BDSM, the way a lot of people look at it, has themes of violence in it, which in the martial art world we're actually quite well equipped for those conversations because we teach violence as a means of empowerment.
Yes.
So that's a really interesting thing.
But we also teach a lot of self-control with that.
Yeah.
Which is important. And that's one of the things I do when I teach in the kink community. I mean, that's a big part of it. Is just like as a martial arts instructor, I'm not able to hit or throw the beginner student like I do my black belts.
Yeah.
Right? And it's that same sense of control when you're playing in kink and BDSM with people.
Sure.
So that was easy for me to cross over as a martial arts teacher into the kink community. When somebody walks up and says, I want to try this for the first time in the kink community, well, that's easy. That's a white belt.
Sure.
I go into that mode. You know?
Well, that's true. Like from my martial arts background, and it's funny, the only time I ever got my nose broken was from a white belt. And I was proud of them. Because it was a great punch. They just didn't pull it soon enough.
Right.
So my reaction to that situation was different than a white belt breaking another white belt's nose.
Of course.
And again, with themes in the BDSM and kink community, if you're a martial artist who's just now either discovering your own kinky side or where eroticism and your martial arts practice, where they bridge, or you're an instructor who's like, oh wow, there's a whole other world out there, I'd never made the connection. I really advise you and invite you to look up Mac and get resources if this stuff is interesting to you, or if you have students coming to you with these questions as well, because you just have a lot of great resources on this stuff.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I want to mention is consent. Consent, I really struggled with as a martial arts teacher. I had spent my whole life teaching people safety and self-defense. And especially I taught a lot of women's self-defense classes, right? Then I come into the kink community and this rough play, and I had to go through a thing in my own mind about, is this okay? Because I'm all the time teaching people how to keep from, rape situations or violence happening, assault. And now I'm doing it, but it's all about consent.
Yeah, there are scenes and role-playing that's happening.
Right, and we negotiate what's going to happen, what's okay and what's not okay with that person you're playing with beforehand.
Yeah.
So it's very different.
Yeah.
But I'm a Nazi about negotiation.
Sure.
I'm like very serious about making sure everything is negotiated out due to that.
Yeah, which is also just useful for anybody, like great communication skills and being able to safe port your students or your lovers by talking about things and where it's a good fit, where it's not a good fit, and making sure people are ready for what the things that they're ready for. I mean, that's just being a good teacher.
Yes.
Yeah. So where can people find you?
BeTrueToSelf.org.
Yep. And I'm Reid at readaboutsex.com or sexgeeksummercamp.com. I hope this thread of conversations is interesting. It's blowing my little martial arts mind. Thank you so much for being a part of these things.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.